Welcome, grade 10 students. In this record, you're going to find a revision for your English O level for the new hello. So bring your notebook and get ready because you're going to take notes with me. It's very important to stay here in this video using a notebook. Are you ready? Let's start. We're going to have the final revision for OL, for the English, and we're going to start with the revision points. Here, we are gonna have the unit summary and also a brief summary for the grammar lessons that you learned. And also, we're gonna discuss together the most confusing questions that you have along the year. And also, we're gonna discuss some notes for the right answer, why this answer is right and why is it wrong. Now let's start with unit 7. Here in this unit, you learn tips about your home hygiene and, of course, also your personal hygiene. And also, you learn how to give advice and how to give first aid when it's emergency or if someone is hurt or something like that. The grammar lesson for this unit is modal verbs, which is shouldn't, must, and mustn't. Here, let's start the pre-summary for the grammar lesson here. As you see, we use shouldn't to give or to ask for advice. And also sometimes we use them to give suggestions or to express your opinion as well. For must and mustn't, we use them to apply the rules, any rules that we have. So this is kind of expressing the necessity or the obligation. And also we use them for strong advice for our close friends and relatives. And here when you give strong advice to your relative or your friend, it differs from using should. And also we have here a very important note to write in your notebook, as I told you. We use should have past participle when we blame somebody for something he didn't do, something he did not do. And we use shouldn't have past PP to blame someone for something he already did. To blame someone for something he already did. Okay, so here let's start the first question in this unit. Let's read the question together. Swimmers should take along what before swimming for long distances? Long breathing, breath, or breathtaking? Try to guess the answer. Yes, I heard someone saying a long breath. Because here, in our question here, the word breathe is a verb, which ends with E, okay? But breath is a noun, which is the act of taking air in and out. And the breathing is a noun also, which is the act of respiration. Okay, so there is difference between breathe and breath and breathing. Okay, let's move to the other question. Foot is the singular of feet as what word bacteria? So here in this question, we need the singular form from the word bacteria. Yes, what do you think? Is it bacteria, bacterium, disease, or allergy? Of course, it's going to be, yes, excellent, bacterium. So the word bacteria is plural. The word bacteria is plural. And the singular form from it is bacterium. Yes. Okay, let's move to the other question here. What is a process paramedics do in emergency service to help someone breathe regularly? What is it? Is it CPC, CRP, CPR, or RPC? Which one? Try to guess. Yes, excellent. It's CPR. So who can tell me if an abbreviation for what or a short form for which word? Yes, it's a short form for cardiopulmonary resuscitation. For cardiopulmonary resuscitation, NDC. So CPR is the short form for this cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Let's move to the other question. Have a or am to strawberry allergic, allergy, allergenic, or genetic. Uh, Here, gonna be allergy. Why? Why it's allergy? Because the word allergy here is a noun, but allergic is an adjective. But allergenic is an adjective from allergen, from the word allergen, which is the substance that causes allergy. So allergenic is the substance that causes allergy. Okay, let's move to the next question. Computers help doctors what? What do computers do to help doctors? Keep records, examine people, keep healthy, or A and B? As we know that computers can do lots of things in many ways, can help doctors in many ways. So it's going to be A and B. It can keep records for them and examine people as well. So here, the other question, we use Solve Plus to what? Your tablet screen. Huh. Dust, burn, grab, or evacuate. Hmm. Yes, X is going to be dust. And write this in your notebook. It's very important that the word dust can be used as a verb and as a noun. We can use it as a verb and also as a noun. Like in this example, you need to clean the dust on the furniture. So here it's a noun, but in this question, it's a verb. Let's move to the next question here. As you see, the ship's captain was chosen by the staff, the staff, the crew, the employee. Huh? Which one is the correct answer? As you see here, crew. Very good. So here, for this note, write it. It's very important as well. The word crew is used to refer to people who work on a ship or a plane. But the word staff, we can use it in offices, schools, and also in restaurants. Let's move on to the next question. In your car, you must have a first what box to help you if there is an accident or if there is an emergency. As we said, we have to get a first excellent aid box. A first aid box. So first aid box is a box which has some medical stuff to cure emergency injury. And let's move to the other question. The police found that what of people from the area near the burning factory is necessary. So there is a burning factory next to a place. So the police found it's very important to do what? Yes, evacuate, evacuation, respond, or evacuate. It's the evacuation. So here we need to use it as a noun. Evacuation means to ask people to leave the building while emergency. The word evacuate is a verb and evacuee is a noun for the people, for the person. Okay. Now we're going to move to the grammar question. Let's start. As you see, you mustn't smoke in a petrol station. Here, do you think, is it a rule, a personal obligation, it's an advice or a piece of advice, or it's a personal freedom? Yes, very good. It's a rule because smoking in public places is not, not allowed or it's banned. So we can't smoke in any public place. So here we use must with rules and duties. Duties are things you have to do. Let's move to the other question. The manager was angry. Ali should have come earlier this morning. This means Ali arrived earlier or had to arrive earlier or didn't arrive earlier or needn't have arrived earlier. For answering any grammar question, I want you to stop and think first, read more than twice, and then start answer. Don't be in a hurry in grammar questions. So here it's gonna be, yes, very good. We didn't arrive earlier. Okay, so here as we said, we use should and have plus PP when we blame somebody for something he didn't do. Okay, so here the manager was angry. and Ali should have come earlier. Here it's blaming Ali for not coming earlier. So that's why we said here didn't arrive earlier. Okay, you got it? Let's move to the other question. You should what your mother with the housework. You should have after after modal verbs. We always use infinitive, so we should help. We can't use help or helping. So after the modal verbs, we use infinitives. The next question. You look tired. You take today off. So here you're giving something like an advice to someone. So we should say should. So you should take today off. So here the note for this after modal verbs also as we said, use imperative. We have here take, as I said in the previous question, and here it's an advice. Okay, so that's why we use should. Let's move to the next question here. Students what come to school on time. Students, this is a rule or a duty or an advice or what? Yeah, it's gonna be must. So students must come to school on time. So this is obligation. So they must come to school on time. I'm sorry I couldn't come yesterday. I traveled as my brother was ill. So here it's a kind of obligation for someone with your relative. So you can't cancel this. When you can't cancel something in order to another thing, we use had to. We use had to. So we can use to show strong obligations in the past. Strong obligations in the past. Here we use had to. Now we're gonna move to Unit 8. In Unit 8, we learn a lot of things, the advantages and the disadvantages of new technology or the pros and cons of technology and how technology can improve learning and also people's different views about technology and also the grammar was conditional. The grammar if conditionals with the types of it. Now let's start revising together if conditional. For the zero condition, we use it with the general truth, with facts. So zero condition, present simple and present simple in both sentences. So we use it to apply the truth and for facts. Okay. For the second condition, we use type 1. Also for type 1, we to talk about present or future or probable case, something that may happen. And for type 2, we use it to describe imaginary situation in the present or future. And the third condition, we use it to describe imaginary situation as well, but in the past. In the past. Put this in your and write these notes in your notebook. So you're gonna get used from it. Now we have some other expressions for conditional, like the word here, even if. Even if we use it to emphasize that something will happen or would happen or would have happened, whatever the condition is. Like here, even if we leave right now, we still won't catch the train. The next example we have, I wouldn't go into the water even if I could swim. So here it's something which would happen. And even if we had booked our flight earlier, it wouldn't have been cheaper. So if we booked it earlier, it would be cheaper. Okay. So this is the condition that we use even if or this expression with them. Also, we have if only. If only or only if we can use it both. Makes the condition more restrictive. Makes the condition more restrictive. Like when I say medicine is dangerous to children only if dosage is too high. If they use it too high or many times without asking the doctor, so it's going to be dangerous. Only if you like classical music is it worth coming tonight. So if you like classical music, it's worth you to come tonight. Here also we have as long and we have providing and provided that. When do we use them here? To express conditionals also, as long as and providing or provided that can be used instead of if. We can use it instead of if to express a condition. To express a condition. Note that providing and provided that is a bit formal. It's a bit formal, okay? And it equals only if. Equals only if. Like these examples, let's read them together. You can stay here as long as you keep quiet, provided or providing that the bills are paid. They won't ask you or you won't ask us to leave the hotel. They won't ask us to leave that hotel. So these are the conditions that we use here, providing or provided that. Also, suppose and supposing here, suppose and supposing can replace if imagine and replace if, and it equals imagine if, and it equals imagine if. Suppose or supposing you won the lottery, what would you do? Suppose and supposing you can't find a job. Okay, so here we use it as to mean imagine if. Let's move here to unless. Unless is followed by an affirmative verb, and all of us know this, to express if not. So if the sentence have, or if the sentence is negative and you're going to use unless, it must be, the verb must be affirmative. Okay, like this example, unless I buy a ticket, I won't be able to attend the meeting. It equals if not. So if I say here, if I don't buy a ticket, I won't be able to attend the match. Here also we have whether. In whether, like in this example, it equals F also. We have here whether he agrees with me or not, it's not important to me. It here gives me the meaning of a condition. Now let's start with the question. Here we have to choose two answers. So you have to put in your mind that in the exam you're going to find some MCQ question. You have to choose two. You have to read the question title carefully before answering. Okay, so let's start with this question. A hybrid car, okay, and has what? 3 wheels, electric motor, 4 wings, petrol engine. So what are the two correct answers? Yes, excellent. We have electric motor and petrol engine. As we know, the hybrid car, it's a high technological car which can move with an electric motor and also a petrol engine. So it can move using both, not just one of them. Not like the ordinary car. And here we're going to choose two answers as well. When a place is messy, so it is ordered, tidy, disordered, untidy. So what are the synonyms of the word messy here? Yes, excellent. We have untidy and disordered. So they are synonyms. They are synonyms for messy. Let's move to the other question. My father stole our car. So we had to use public transport. So the private car differs from public transport. To what? To what? Here we're going to choose just one answer. To get around, to get across, to get better, to get over. So we're going to use here, get around. Get around means to travel or to move around the city that you live in or the city that you are in. So to get around, the same meaning of moving around the place to discover it. Let's move to the other question here. Be quiet, please. Let me concentrate. My homework. Which preposition here is appropriate or the right or correct for this for the word concentrate? Yes, on. Concentrate on. We use this preposition with the word concentrate. When I get lost in the street, I can use that. I can use the what. Which here system that we can use if we get lost or if you want to go to a place and we don't know how to go there. You can use this and it's easy in your mobile phone, which is the GPS. Excellent. But it's an abbreviation or a full form for what? Yes, it's the short form for global positioning system. So GPS is a short form for global positioning. Here, I'm sure that prices will go up and we will buy everything we need for the new house. We go up, down, on, and in. Yes, excellent. Prices will go down. This means that everything's gonna be cheaper. And if the prices go up, the opposite of it go up. So this means that everything becomes uh, expensive. Yes, excellent. So if prices go down, mean that everything will be cheaper and the opposite prices go up. Now we're going to choose two answers for this question. And this one says, give the meaning of what? Write it down. Mm-hmm. Yes, excellent. Of ethics and results. Of ethics and results. Let's read this example together in the notes. I'm warning you, if you don't get me the report on time, there will be consequences. It's the same meaning that there will be effects, there will be results. Now we're going to choose two answers here. So this mobile is different mine. The two possessions. Huh? What are they? Different, different from, and different to. Different from and different to. Yes, excellent. So both prepositions are used with different and they give the same meaning. And here, do you have or an on Twitter? What do you have on Twitter for the applications or the social media application like the Facebook, the Twitter, Instagram, and so on? We need to have what? To have an account, of course. We need to have an account. So we can't log into any social media app without account. Yes, of course. I had a 10-minute chat with my friend. The word chat here is what? What is the part of the speech of the word chat in the sentence? Yes, it's gonna be such again. It's of course a noun. You know, write this in your notebook, don't forget. You know that we can use the word chat as a verb also, not only as a noun. You can use it as a verb, like in this example, I chatted with my friend for 10 minutes. Okay, so we can use it as a noun and as a verb as well. We're going to move here to the next question. Not everything in social media is true. There is some what? Here, uh, there's some disadvantages. We have some synonyms for here for advantages and disadvantages. Like we have upsides and downsides, and we have pros and cons, and all of them mean good things and bad things. So write this in your notebook, as I told you. Take notes, don't forget. Now let's move on here. After finishing our essay, Ahmed gave us useful words. Huh. After you did something good, so you need from your teacher, you need from your doctor and the universe something. What is it? How? Yes, excellent feedback. Feedback means to give you the good points and the bad points. If you did a presentation, if you did an assignment, if you write an essay, you need this because this will help you to learn about your mistakes. Very important to learn from your mistakes. Here we're going to move to Unit 8 grammar. As you see, I can't do anything. Huh? My brother doesn't help me. Here we need an expression here for conditional. Here's gonna be it. So I can't do anything if my brother doesn't help me. So you are waiting for your brother to help you in this. So you can't do anything without him. So we can't use in case of here. Why? Why don't we use here in case of because? Write this in your notebook. It's very important because it must be followed by a noun or verb plus ing. It must be followed by a noun or verb plus ing. Also, unless must be followed by affirmative verb. By affirmative verb. Okay. So here that's why we used in this sentence if. We didn't use in case of, we didn't use unless, and of course we can't use without. You can't drive a car having a license. Here, the good students or the students who were concentrating with me in the previous question is going to answer this. Let's see. Yes, excellent. Gonna be in case of why. Because here we have a gerund or a verb plus ing. Excellent. The one who answered right. Super excellent. Okay. Training hard, you can't win. Mhm. What should we do? We use here. Yes, we use here without. Also without comes at the beginning of the sentence and it must be followed by a gerund. Okay, so means here not having, okay, or not getting enough savings. Let's move to the other question. If this is student what late next time, never let him end. So here I'm threatening somebody. I'm threatening somebody. So if the student comes late next time, never let him in. So this is if type one. Yes, excellent. Possibility in the future. Let's move here. I would have left if I was very tired. If I, mhm, yes, if I felt. Why? Because here we have would at the beginning, and it's considered as imaginary situation as present. So I would have a rest if I felt very tired. This means I don't feel very tired right now, but maybe or might be. I'm imagining that maybe I would feel tired after that, after working hard. Let's move on to the next question. He will join the university. He passes the exams. You were gonna use one from these expressions. What is it? Have but for case of unless provided. Yes, gonna be provided. Yes, excellent. So provided is used to express condition and it means only if. It means here only if. The same like only if he passes the exam, he will join the university. He can't join the university without passing the exam. Now, let's concentrate here to find which sentence from the next sentences is the right or has the right structure. If you were a millionaire, what will your life be like? If you were a millionaire, what would your life be like? If you were a millionaire, what would you like your life? And if you were a millionaire, what will you do with your life? Try to get the answer. It's gonna be B. If you were a millionaire, what would your life be like? Because this is considered as the second condition, which is an imaginary situation and or in the future. Yes, very good. So now I think you understood unit 7 and 8, and let's move to unit 9. Okay, let's revise together the summary for the unit and what did you learn in this unit. We learned about the life of Charlotte Bronte, and I said she was a French writer. She wrote a lot of novels, and my favorite novel for her is Jane Eyre, and that's what you studied. Jane Eyre was an orphan girl, if you remember, and she went to a boarding school, and she people or the manager of the school treated her badly, and she lived a very bad life. And after that, her life is gonna be changed when she leave when she left. Also, we learned about agreeing and disagreeing on opinions. How can we give our agreement or how can we disagree and give or express our opinion? The grammar for this unit is the past simple passive and the past simple and past perfect active. Let's move on to the grammar brief. The past simple, as we know, it's an action which happened in the past tense, totally finished. And we add ed to the verbs, but we have to memorize the irregular forms of the other irregular verbs. Okay? And in yes no questions, we ask we did, and in negative, we use didn't. This is easy and you took it a lot, and we know it. And for the WH questions, we use did as a helping verb after the question when. For the past perfect, they are actions. Actions happened in the past. And it's an action which happened before another action in the past. So it has to be in the past perfect. We have many key expressions, which is as soon as, and as soon as is followed by past perfect. Before and by the time they must be followed by past simple, and after it has to be followed by past perfect, and when it has to be followed by past simple, and we have different notes for this. Let's start answering the question. Which of the following work for somebody at their home? Orphan, servant, stranger, housekeeper. Try to guess. Yes, we have to choose two answers here. We have the servant and the housekeeper. They both work for people at their home. My father taught me what to teach me at home. Who's gonna teach you at home? A private tutor, but there is no tutor here. We have another word. It's a governess. There is a big difference between tutor and governess. A tutor is always a private male teacher, but governess is a private female teacher. So this is the difference between tutor and governess. Parents don't want their children because they don't understand them well. We'll try to find the answer here. Yes. Get on well with. Get on well with means to keep in touch with your child. We don't like that man. He is what? If you don't like somebody, so he is kind, generous, inhuman, or effective. Of course, inhuman, because inhuman means he is heartless. He's a bad man. So inhuman has the other meaning, which is heartless. Always watch me when facing any problem. I will never let you down. So here, so the answer is gonna be don't or always keep in touch with me. Always keep in touch with me. So here it means don't lose contact with somebody. And Albert is a kind employer who is keen to jobs for young people. So here, Albert, as we said, kind employers. So is keen to take or inhuman or do or provide. What do you think? Here is gonna be provide. Yes, provide people jobs for young people with good salary because he is kind. Okay. The child jumped into the stream. Luckily, the water wasn't deep. It was what? What's here the antonym of deep? Yes, excellent. Deep water, shallow water. Shallow means not deep. Yes, excellent. And here, I'm sure that this ointment will help to heal your wounds. Excellent. Wound here is, yes, when you have a wound or something or a cut in your hand, you can use an ointment. Let's move here to this question. Because of the high waves, this ship was badly what? Wrecked, kept, survived, and or sold. Yes, badly wrecked. For the next question here, when the boat hit a rock, the fisherman went away. Paddled it away, paddled here to try to move the boat using two big paddles, here, wooden paddles. And for the note for the first question, wrecked means, as we know, destroyed or damaged. By the time, here's the grammar for unit 9. By the time the lunch was just had arrived. The lunch tried to get. After, by the time, as I said, we use here past simple, but this sentence is considered as passive form. So it's past simple passive, which is was prepared. So by the time lunch was prepared, it just had arrived. And we use here had arrived because by the time is considered as a key or a time expression for the past perfect. So that's why we used had in the next sentence because it's considered as the first act. As soon as I met my friend, I heard about my news. As soon as I told him about my news. But someone is going to tell me after as soon as we should use past perfect, but we can use past simple in the two actions after as soon as when the second action happened immediately after the first one. Write this in your notebook, it's very important. So, as I said, we use the past simple in the two actions after as soon as if the second action happens immediately after the first action. Yes, excellent. Let's move on here. As an answer was out, it was rain. We need to choose to answer here. Yes, it's gonna be went or have started, had gone or started, will go or have started, or go and started. It's gonna be had done and started because this is normally past perfect. After S and S, this is the first action, then it has to be had gone, and then it started to rain. So in the first action, we always use past perfect, had and past perfect. Here I have done my homework. I watched the TV. Here we need to use what after we have I had past perfect. This one must be followed and preceded by past perfect, which is yes, excellent, which is after. Amazing. We're all right. So we use past perfect form after the word after. Now try to think before answering quickly this question. Which of the three sentences have the right structure? Before I left home, I have reserved my bag. When I went to the station, the train had left, so I missed it. As soon as Yasser came home, mother had prepared dinner. After I had dinner, I went out. Which one is or has the right structure? Yes, very good. It's the B. When I went to the station, the train had left, so I missed it. So this is the right structure because with the first action, which is the train left here, had left, it is the first action. I went to the station, this is the second action. So after when we use the second action, past simple, and then the first action, past perfect. Yes, more than amazing. Then we're going to move to Unit 10. In Unit 10, we learned how to speak about different jobs or job opportunities. How can you write your CV? How can you ask your for advice using email writing? And also for the grammar, we learned the reported speech. Let's move on to the reported speech briefly here. The direct speech is told by the speaker and written between quotation marks. And the indirect speech is told by another speaker. And we change the tenses, put this in your mind, and we remove the quotation mark. But we don't change the tenses in some cases. What are they? The first one, if the sentence was said short time ago, don't change the tense here. Keep it as it is. If the speech verb is in present or future, and when I say says, so don't change the tense. When I say will say, don't change the tense here. We don't change the tense in the second and third condition. So here, we don't change the tense with the second and the third condition for it. And also in the scientific text, we don't change the tense in the reported speech. This is very important, right? In your notebook, it's very, very important. Now we're going to read this together. Keep it for you. To pause the video and read them. How the changes for the tenses from the direct speech to the reported one. As we know, present simple comes past, present continuous comes past continuous, present perfect comes past perfect, past simple comes past perfect, will becomes would, can becomes could, may becomes might, must becomes had to. And put this in your mind for must. Must, had to, and also have to comes had to. Here are the changes in the pronouns. I and you becomes he and she according to the subject in the sentence. Me and you changes to him and her according to the subject. My, your becomes his and her. Mine and yours, his and hers. We and you becomes they. Us and you, them. Our and your, their. Ours and yours, theirs. Here we have for some adverbs here today comes that day. Now we change it to then, yesterday, the day before, uh, also ago comes before, last week, the week before, next year, the following year, and tomorrow becomes the next day. These changes are very important. You can pause the video and write them in your notes. Now let's start with our question. The factor used to improve the product. The word improve is synonym to what and what. Choose two answers here. Hmm? Yes, excellent. Improve is a synonym to increase and upgrade. Increase and upgrade. I enjoy what children, we need to choose two answers here. I enjoy looking after and caring for. Looking after and caring for. Okay, let's move on to the next question. You are lucky if what job the salary is high. So here we're gonna choose just one answer. This, yeah, it's a rewarding job. That means the salary is high, so it's rewarding, a very, very good job. The next question: when Ali left school, he had what with a construction company that builds hotels in big cities. Yes, what does he have? Amazing. Apprenticeship. It's a kind of training that you have before signing the contract for a company or for an office or for the school and so on. I'm going to what for the vacant job as an accountant. Reply, apply, pay, or respond. Yes, apply. Amazing. You're answering right with me. What are the what needed for the new job as a sales manager? So if you're going to apply for any job, so you need what? Something which is very, very important to have, which is, yes, qualifications. Excellent, more than amazing. So the word qualifications means experience and the learning background that you have for the job you're applying for. My sister works in a what department at a big hospital at Cairo. She deals with patients in critical cases daily. So she works in or amazing casualty department. Try to remember with me. What does it mean? Yes, it means the emergency department in any hospital. Okay. As here, the word casualty department is emergency room in hospital. For the next question here, finally, we signed what for our new apartment? Of course, we signed the contract. You can sign the contract when you buy anything, maybe a land, maybe an apartment, a boat, or a ship, or a motorbike or a car. You have to sign a contract when you buy anything. We need to rationalize our consumption of high-priced articles. It's really good decision to what? To do, to make, to play, to have. Try to get. More than amazing. Make a decision. Make a decision. Okay? Rescuers made great efforts to save the two workers who were what in the mine? Who were what? They're gonna save them. So what happened to them? You are tracked or died or killed or trapped. Of course, they are not died because they are going to save them. So they are trapped. They are trapped. Now, Ahmed said he was traveled to Aswan the following day. He will or would or can or have. Try to guess here. It's kind of reported speech here for the grammar. So which answer is going to be correct? You would, of course, because you have the speech verb, which is said is in the past, so you have to change the tense here in the sentence, so it's going to be would. As I said before, we change will to would. You understood? Excellent. Samir asked me how, what, problem alone. How? Excellent. How I had solved the problem alone. And here it's the WH question report speech. So as you see here, I had solved. We can't say had I. No, it's gonna be. We don't move the verbs or the pronouns in the sentence after the question word. Okay? I was what that the meeting was canceled for no reason. I was. Uh, the meeting was canceled. So I was told, said, say, or delivered. It's gonna be told. I was told, of course. She told me that her name was Hagar and she was a nurse. Here it's the past, so we're gonna be use it in the past. It's gonna be was. Excellent. Move on to another question here and answer this carefully. Which of the following sentences has the right structure? Adam said that he was ready for the final exam, or she asked me why I had made that mistake. Gamal asked me why would I travel to Paris. She said that she can't speak more than two languages. So it's gonna be which one? More than amazing. The first one. Adam said that he was ready for the final exam. This is the correct form of the reported speech. Okay, now we're gonna move to Unit 11. Are you ready? Let's go ahead. Here in Unit 11, we learn about athletes with disabilities. Athletes with disabilities or the special needs, people with special needs, but they are playing many kinds of sports. They can join the Paralympics, as we said, making complaints about and also how can we answer people, respond people in a polite way, which is polite responses. And also the grammar is also report speech and relative clause. Now let's move to the grammar summary. For the relative clause, we have here who and that, use it with people, which and that we use it for things, where for places, whose for possessions, and also we have a very, very, very important note here that we don't use that after a comma. We don't use that if we have a comma after the main subject in the sentence. Let's move on to the questions here for the vocabulary. Smoking was our health badly. Mhm. Smoking, we have to choose two answers. Put this in your mind. Amazing, influences, and effects. More than amazing. I'm sorry to what, but I can't sleep because of your children's noise. Mhm. I'm sorry to bother you and also annoy you. The same of them are synonyms. Okay, let's move on. Do you think that Ukraine and Russia can work to end the war? Here they have to do something to end this war. What is that? Amazing. Negotiate. Negotiate means to talk together, to have a deal together to end a problem. Most athletes usually have a strong what? The athletes usually have strong, yes, muscles. Muscles. And a note that we have for the first question here that the word negotiate means to talk together and make a good deal or end a problem. What is a disease that comes from mosquitoes? It's a very bad disease that comes from mosquitoes, which is malaria. Excellent. Malaria is a very bad disease that comes from mosquitoes. My sister joined the campaign for the disabled rights. The word campaign here is it's a noun. Amazing. So it can be used as a verb also. When I say she campaigns for something. Okay, so we can use campaign as a verb or as a noun. She's an environmental what? She did something good for the environment. So she is an activist. Activist. And here Ali is or am. He has a disability in his leg, but he is a good swimmer. So he is what? A Paralympian. Paralympian is used with athletes with disabilities. Paralympian is used with athletes with disabilities. And here I don't know, and maybe that comes to the club. Here we're gonna use where or when or that or who. Yes, excellent. Here we're gonna use when, speaking about the time. Al is an Egyptian power lifter, won the bronze medal. Here we're gonna use who. Yes, excellent. Use who with people. Let's move on. Mr. Ahmed, comma, I said this, teaches us English is helpful. Can we use that here? Of course, no. I told you don't use that in comments. So you are gonna use who only. Don't use that. Oliver Twist, comma, by Charles Dickens, comma, is very famous. Is a very famous novel. I love this novel very much. Here, Oliver Twist, we're gonna use written. Oliver Twist, written by Charles Dickens, is a very famous novel. And why did we use here written? Because in passive voice, we can replace the relative clause with past participle. This is for a note you have to write in your notebook. So in passive voice, we can replace the relative clause with a past participle. The man was a big bag. My brother, the man, which one? Yes, it's gonna be the man carry and the man who is carrying. We can use both. The man carry a big bag is my brother, and the man who is carrying a big bag is my brother. Let's move on to the next question. Here, the little girl, long hair is my daughter. It's gonna be A and B, who has and also with. So the notes here in the first question, in active voice, we can replace the relative clause with the gerund also, as we see here. And also we can remove the relative pronoun in this form, as you see here, the little girl who has or the little girl with. Now we're gonna move to the last unit. And we know that in this unit, lessons 3 and 4 are canceled, but we're gonna move to the lessons that are not canceled in this unit. Here we learned in this unit a summary of the story, which is Silas Marner is a story, an English story. It's a very nice one, and we learned about it in this unit. And also how do people work. And we got the grammar lesson, which is modal verbs of possibility, which is can, might, and must. Okay, let's move on to the grammar summary. To express a strong deduction at present, we use must or can't be. We use must or can't be. Deduction means to get something which is going to happen. To express weak deduction at present, we use maybe or might be. To deduct a continuous action at present, we use must or can't or may or might, be plus verb plus ing. You have to memorize this form very well. Also here, to express some deduction in the past, we use must or can't have been. Must or can't have been. To express weak deduction at present, we use may or might have been. To deduct a continuous action at present, we use must or can't or may or might have been, plus verb plus ing. Here, let's move on. Choose two answers. We have to what the car is safe for the trip. Two, excellent, to ensure, and also to make sure. It's very difficult to live in an abandoned place. The word abandoned can be replaced by, yes, it can be replaced by unrestrained or uninhabited. We have choose also here two answers. The Ministry of Education is trying to change the traditional way of teaching. And what are the antonyms of traditional? Yes, up to date and untraditional are antonyms of traditional, the opposites of them. My grandfather decided to what to his old village? To, yes, excellent, to move or return to his old village. Ali watched his mother's car until it disappeared. What sign? Here? Yes, excellent, disappeared from his sight. I couldn't find my digital watch. It's really a Yes, excellent. A mystery, more than amazing. So the word mystery means something we don't understand. Many women do hard work labor, which means they work with their hands. Huh? Yes, excellent. Manual. She was the idea of creating this new project. She adopted, you can adopt an idea or a project or even a child. For the grammar, my father is not here. He has out. So which one? Must have gone. Excellent. And our neighbor are breaking one of their windows. They what their ears? They, yes, excellent. They must have lost their keys. So we don't use mustn't in deduction. We use can. We don't use mustn't. This is a good point. A note take. The robber went away after he had robbed the bank. We can't find him now. Yes, excellent. Must have run. Yes. Kent couldn't answer the question. They what have been difficult for her? They must have been difficult for her. Now, time for translation. When you answer any of the translation, you have to read all of them carefully before choosing one. Unfortunately, reading is no longer a common hobby among young people. It was deeply affected by the introduction of social media. Which one is going to be the right answer? Try to guess. Mhm. Yes, excellent. Gonna be two. للأسف لم تعد القراءة هواية شائعة بين الشباب فلقد تأثرت بشدة باختراع وسائل التواصل الاجتماعي. Here we're gonna translate into English. يجب علينا جميعا أن نحافظ على أنفسنا بصحة جيدة، والصحة الجيدة تتطلب الحصول على طعام صحي ونوم كاف وممارسة الرياضة بانتظام. Which one is gonna be the right answer? Try to guess. Yes, excellent. Gonna be C. We must all keep ourselves healthy. Good health requires getting healthy food, getting enough sleep, and exercising regularly. Okay, I hope you learned something from the revision today, and I hope you good luck in your exam. And thank you for watching, and goodbye.